Well, I represent Juhudi Kilimo, and we are a microfinance institution that works specifically with smallholder farmers in Kenya, and we provide asset financing to smallholders so they can acquire productive assets, typically livestock. Dairy cows are very popular, poultry and so on, but also farming equipment and irrigation equipment and so on. Well, I think if we look at agriculture and Kenya, or perhaps Africa more broadly, I think certainly a lot more inclusion has taken place. I think especially in Kenya, if you look at the way business is done today compared to 5 years ago, I think there is a much bigger imperative to work on products and services that really include the poorest or the segments of the market and the population that previously were considered not worthwhile or inaccessible. So if you look at companies like, well, there's Safaricom with M-Pesa and its huge reach in Kenya, but also financial service providers like banks like Equity Bank. And then the fact that we as Juhudi Kilimo also have grown in the last 5 years and are currently serving 20,000 smallholder farmers across Kenya. And I think that is a testament to the fact that this kind of business is seen as much more feasible, but also necessary. I think it would have to be the question of really product development or being able to really create products that are not only attractive to people at the say at the base of the pyramid, but more specifically that really are very relevant but also affordable to them. So again, I think the affordability question remains, and then in addition to that, I think probably making technology more available, more widely available. I think a lot has been done. I think mobile phones have really changed that landscape significantly, but we're still sort of stuck there in a sense with SMS-based services and so on. So really how to get beyond that relatively limited technology at the end of the day, if you look at it, which is still very powerful. I mean, I actually work with that. I work with providing or making our products and services more effective through the use of mobile technology. But it is still, we still can do more, definitely. As we've seen in Kenya with certain sectors, I think that more and more companies will see that it makes business sense, but also from a social perspective important, vital to really serve that segment of the population that has been neglected until now. So I think that trend that has already picked up a lot will continue to I think become stronger and grow. And then of course I hope that through making financing options more widely available to people, I think I was actually just talking about that downstairs, about how affordability, and then if that's coupled with accessible financial services, I think that's one potential solution to the problem of how do you make new products and technologies really available to the poorest customers and users. I think that, I mean, here I'm talking about social enterprises, which are typically small. A lot of them, unfortunately, are having to reinvent the wheel or trying to reinvent the wheel. And if you look at developing country contexts, like in Kenya, for instance, infrastructure is one of the main challenges. So the problem has been and remains in the agriculture sector that there's no way for farmers, for instance, to get their produce to markets because roads are poor, distribution services don't exist, and so on. So I wonder if social enterprises can somehow, I know that bigger companies have solved the problem by sort of building their own supply chains. And I think for social enterprises, that's not really commercially feasible to do that. So I wonder if we'll start looking at these bigger questions of business infrastructure from the perspective of the social enterprise. And I don't know if a collaborative approach can solve that problem or can address it somehow. But that, I think, will be interesting and challenging.